Welcome to Earthy Goddess Mumma. My name is Kathy and I'm here today for your daily energy reading, but it's a special daily energy reading today. We have the new moon in Gemini. It is the 14th of June here in Australia, 2018. It's a Thursday and the new moon went into Gemini in the early hours this morning here, 5:45 to be exact, and it was at 22 degrees, and 22 is the master number of the builder. So today, the Gemini energy is here today. It's when the sun and the moon are conjunct each other. So the moon gets its energy from the sun to fulfill its next cycle, and that energy is Gemini energy. So Gemini is an air sign. It's all about communication, intellectual communication. So gaining so much knowledge and being able to articulate that knowledge with ease. It's a very adventurous sign, flirtatious, playful, loves social events, networking, getting out in the community, expressing knowledge wherever they go. So language is the tool that Gemini people use, they use the knowledge they've gained and use their language and communication skills as a real tool to get their message across. So it's very intellectual. There's a lot of intellectual energy around, very enthusiastic. But also Gemini has the ability to embrace uncertainty and has the courage to take a risk and step through a new doorways into new opportunities. So all of that energy is around at the moment for this new moon in Gemini. So there's a lot of new perspectives coming from an intellectual level, though. There's a lot of aspects relating to this new moon in Gemini. So there's lots of energies around. We have Chiron and Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, and that has got a square to Mercury's moved into Cancer now. It was in Gemini. So this is more Mercury, like when Mercury was in Gemini, it was more the head and the thoughts surrounding the wound. Now it's the deeper emotional things that are coming up, healing emotional pain through communication, because Mercury rules Gemini. So with Cancer there, it's more of a nurturing energy. It's just not that heady energy of Gemini, the thinking about the wounds. It's more of getting deeper into the emotional, but nurturing the self and loving the self through the wound. So how may I love and nurture myself through expressing this wound? So maybe using that energy of Mercury to write down your emotions through journaling, self-reflection, writing the letter as an expression to maybe someone that co-created the emotional pain that you're experiencing, writing it all down and expressing it, getting it out of your physical body in a form of a letter, and then maybe burning the letter. So Venus is also in Cancer. Mercury's in Cancer, Venus is in Cancer, and there's a strong trine with Chiron as well. So it's kind of seeing the beauty of your wound. It's seeing the beauty of the emotions that are coming from the wound. And using that Aryan energy in Chiron to create some action surrounding that. So accepting, nurturing and deep healing, embracing the beauty of your wound, and maybe looking at what values have been created surrounding that wounding, because a lot of this wounding is old wounding, like inner child wounding, and it's been unconscious for a long time, but now with It's the ability to bring from the unconscious to the conscious and accept and nurture those wounds, love those wounds, see the beauty of those wounds, because those wounds now can fire you forward with that Aries energy and allow that wound to help you nurture others and have compassion for others for what they're going through. I mean, this is the beauty of our experience, our life experience, because we get, through the experience of deep wounding, we get to then show compassion for other people that are going through the same process. And, you know, that may become our soul's purpose, our life purpose this lifetime. So we also have Saturn in Capricorn as also got a relationship with the moon. So there's all this emotional energy with Venus in Cancer and Mercury in Cancer. All this emotional energy, and also with Scorpio and Jupiter. There's all this emotion around, so we can either like spend this time like using this creative energy of Gemini, the ability to communicate and create, like using that depth of emotion to start writing a new book, like build something. It's 22, so this is the aspect of 22, the master number of the builder, creating something that's permanent, using this emotion, using this wound to communicate, to paint a picture, to start on that book, to like, it's the birthday of something, it's the birth, like this is the planting the seeds of intention, the new moon. We've released, we're healing, we're illuminating our wounds, we're bringing them to the surface. It's also there's a sextile also Mercury with Uranus, so it's a real time of visionary ideas, genius with this Mercury in Uranus and the new moon in Gemini, and it's this time of inspired genius. So you can tap into all these energies around. There are so many aspects to this new moon that I'm kind of like getting into that heady nature of Gemini, like where do I start, what do I talk about, because it's all about wanting to, everyone wants to communicate at the moment and be heard, and it can be kind of distracting. And at the moment my thoughts of how many aspects there are surrounding this new moon is kind of distracting me as well. Which one do I talk about, which one do I touch on, because it can be kind of like a scattered energy too. It's there's a lot of water and air, so it's really going deep with the emotions and being able to communicate them. Focus on one thing, like focus on one core wound and bring that core wound up into the mind. So get the heart head in alignment and be able to voice and communicate those emotions that come from the wound, and create something like a screenplay or a book. It can be your legacy, with this master number of the builder being the degrees in which this new moon is in Gemini. It's 2244 actually, so it's like creating stability from, and a foundation from, building something of substance. There's a real ability for communicative healing as well, like, you know, maybe going and talking it out with a counselor, or you being the healer and being able to communicate what you've learned, your experience, to, you know, show that compassion and that nurturing for somebody else, through your own shared experience. So today, you know, there is a real important thing about today, is to not allow the ego to get you stuck in practical matters and needing to do certain practical things. Yeah, of course we need to meet some responsibilities, but allow the water and the air energy today that's very predominant to inspire you, to inspire your genius creativity, to communicate those deep emotions through your work. Like, find a way to create some structure from this, to create some stability, to create something tangible. That's the earth, from this water and air, all this water and air that's around at the moment. So there's a real confidence in what you have to give the world. There's an ability to see, with Venus in Cancer, sitting a Mercury in Cancer and Venus in Cancer, to really tap into that beautiful watery energy, to understand our own self-worth and to add value to the world, because you really have a need to express your feelings right now. So there's a real open-hearted vulnerability. You can really get to know someone today if you meet them, but we need to be careful on what we're actually communicating. You might, and where you're communicating. So it's okay in a personal sense, but if you're going for a job interview day, yeah, you might be able to really show up with confidence today and be able to sell yourself really well in your ability to communicate, but just, be aware that some emotional stuff might want to come out, but just choose the environment in which you're expressing those deep emotions today. I'm even feeling kind of scattered in my communication today. I'm really sorry. I'm finding that I actually need to go ground myself. I did a little bit of Qigong just before, but I really am feeling the need to ground myself today. So for you guys as well, find, something to do today to ground yourself. Get out barefoot on the earth. Yeah, just do maybe some breath work. Pick some herbs from the garden and eat them. Get your hands in the soil. Yeah, I'm feeling really... There was a rush of emotion this morning for me too, and just getting in the head and ideas, what to do, where to go. It's that scattered energy that we need to kind of just come back, breathe deeply, ground ourselves, and really focus on how we can use these ideas, these visionary ideas, and communicate them efficiently, effectively today. So yeah, the new moon is opposed by Saturn in Capricorn. So there are new opportunities for success in work, but it's about creating structure through communicating not only what you've learned on an intellectual level, but deep emotional things that are coming up from that wound, and the Cancerian, the Venus in Cancer, all of that energy. You have skills to offer people. So you have all these things that you've learned through your life experience, and you're able to communicate them today. So it's just like, even my writing's really scattered. It's kind of creative, but it's kind of scattered. So I'm really sorry. I'm feeling like I'm coming across in a really blah way. Anyway, all good. So I'll just tie all this together. I've written some more things down here. Yeah, so we're really being asked to establish like a real relationship between our thinking and our feeling, our heart and our head, to bring them together, to not allow one to dominate the other. I'm feeling really like blah blah in my head today, kind of hitting. I'm going to need to really ground and do some more meditation later. It might not be easy because with this Mercury in Cancer, there's an exact square with Chiron and Aries, like I was saying before, and then there's that opposition with Saturn and Capricorn. So there might be times where we feel misunderstood, rejected, or even doubting ourselves because we don't get the responses that we want when we communicate our feelings. We might not find the right words to express our feelings. Even though Gemini's there, it can be a little bit scattery if we haven't really aligned our heart and our head, and we might really need to do a lot of throat chakra work that I touched on the other day. It might feel blocked and needs unlocking through creative expression. So today is a really wonderful time to write down all those deep emotions that may have been squished down, like packed down and through wounding, yeah? And because this Aries and Chiron and Venus and Mercury in Cancer, it's really nurturing ourselves, doing our own self-healing, and that healing could be just to do with our throat chakra and our heart chakra. Really just sitting with ourselves and really just keeping our heart and head aligned so we can resolve any emerging issues and move beyond feelings of hurts, those deep woundings, not get lost in emotion, but also not getting lost in our heads, like finding a beautiful balance through creativity, through expression, through our throat, through our communication. So the Saturn in Capricorn, yeah, it just wanting to create the structure and trying to teach us self-mastery through watching our thoughts and our feelings, recognizing when we're being really rigid and narrow in our perspective, and trying to just, only communicate what we are feeling and thinking, and feeling that our beliefs are the beliefs, our opinions are truth, and not allowing other people their own self-expression and their own not listening, not being really forceful in what we believe and what we want to say, and not allowing others to speak. So we really need to really try and ground ourselves. We really need to ground ourselves and understand that we're all the same. Get to that sense of unity again, and that sense of oneness, that we all have something unique to express, and we all are feeling these energies. And it can be really kind of distracting when we've all got something we think's amazing and inspired and we want to communicate, but then everyone else does too. So it's about honoring each other and really having that flow to be able to know when it's your turn to talk, and then to hold space and listen, receptive listening to others, so it might be actually a really good time to really harness this energy right now today, if you can, to do some real writing or speaking, recording yourself away from others, because it can be quite a hard time today to collaborate, because everyone wants to talk. Everyone's got something to say. So it's a really good time for starting that book, birthing something new. It could be a birthday of something that's going to create amazing stability with the 2244 energy. Something today could be birthed through these deep wounds, through these emotions that are coming up, and your ability to communicate them. I was meant to say right at the beginning of this reading, but I just wanted to start communicating straight away, that Baan Pasu was the winner of the energy clearing and personal reading. I'll put it underneath this reading as well. So if you could flick me an email so I can get your email details, and we can work together on creating whatever intention you have for this personal reading. So let's pull some cards. And my head is just, I've got the Tarot of Sexual Magic here today because, oh, I just saw it actually. The card for Gemini is the Lovers. And we do have with the Venus in Cancer and Mercury in Cancer, there is a beautiful nurturing energy around to be really open-hearted and vulnerable in our intimate relationships and all of our relationships. Just probably not so much the professional ones. Be really mindful about being a little bit too open with your emotions in a professional, in your job today. You know, it might be held against you later. But, you know, in intimate relationships, beautiful, 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 open-hearted. I didn't clear out. I pulled that. It's kind of been a real, I'm really feeling this heady, airy energy today. Yeah, it's interesting. We have, yep, the Knave of Swords. So this is air energy. This is the Page of Swords. So a lot of communication today. This can be really kind of reckless communication though, so be mindful. Really be mindful of what you're communicating. Look at that sword there. You can, you know, this is the page. So you can fling that sword around, fling that communication around and really cut people today. Your wounds, you know, some of your wounds may be really unconscious. So you might be communicating very unconsciously today. Yeah, be aware of that. Be aware of your triggers today. It's a lot of communication, and I can feel that. I'm not shutting up. I mean, I'm here to communicate, I guess, but I'm going to find the space of silence later for sure. Yeah, more communication. We have the Five of Swords, so this is cutting. This is cutting communication. This is battles. This is in the standard deck. This is really wounding people with your words. So we really need to illuminate those wounds and nurture and heal and accept our wounds. So our wounds, our pain isn't inflicting pain on others. Because we all know hurt people, yeah? Neither of them are looking at each other here. Yeah, so a lot of in your head today. We need to find that heart-head balance today. We have the sun. Beautiful. Illuminating. Illuminating those wounds so those wounds don't cut others. Nurturing and loving yourself with Venus in Cancer. Finding a way to accept yourself through your wounds, like finding the beauty in your wounds. Integrating those wounds into the whole of who you are. So those wounds can bring brightness to others, can bring healing energies to others, that can bring light to yourself and others once they're integrated. Once you see the beauty of them. Can you see the beauty of your wounds? Can you see the beauty of being an abused child? Can you see the beauty in looking at the bigger picture of who you are as an adult? This is the energy of Leo and the inner child. Because in the standard deck, it's a little child on the back of a horse, naked, transparent. This is bringing that wounded inner child out in a playful, fun way, like with the sun in Gemini, allowing the inner child to be illuminated. But the essence of that inner child, not the wounded inner child, because the wounds are being healed. The wounds are being accepted and integrated into the whole of who you are. So the wounds that wounded inner child is not unconsciously creating these harsh communications anymore. Your words are no longer cutting because they're not coming from an unconscious place anymore. This is creativity as well, using the brokenheartedness, the woundedness, the beauty of all of that to create something amazing through your communication. Like we were touching on before, illuminating, shining light on those wounds. Aries, Chiron. Aries is fire, Aries is Mars. Burning through anything that those wounds are. So if those wounds are creating unconscious patterning in your life, which they do, illuminating them, burning through those blocks, burning through those unconscious patterns, bringing the essence of the inner child to light. And this is also with, you know, Venus in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, being open-hearted and vulnerable. They're both naked and embracing each other. They are being fully transparent with each other. They're being allowing each other to be deeply intimate because they can express their feelings effortlessly with the sun illuminating, you know, sun in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini, communicating your deepest feelings today. And then creating that beautiful intimacy through being able to be vulnerable and truly open-hearted with another. Yeah, and the Ace of Pentacles. So there's new opportunities. This is the Saturn Capricorn energy that I just touched on before in a really scattered way. I know my communication was so scattered before. I'm like just touching the cards. I've been able to just sort of bring myself back. I just had too much information on the page. It's really like real Gemini energy. Gosh. The Saturn and Capricorn. Sorry. Kind of just getting myself into a bit of a giggly state about my own way of communicating before. It was really scattered. I'm so sorry if anyone could understand what I was trying to say. The Ace of Pentacles is a new tangible opportunity, a grounded opportunity. This is a new opportunity coming in a workplace because you have the beautiful confidence of being able to communicate really well. Like show yourself in a very confident way. So you could get a new job through this. Or like I was saying with the 2-2 energy, the master builder number, birthing something through your deep wounds and being able to communicate them today could create something really tangible. This is a gift. Like this is the Uranus energy as well, that Mercury, Uranus, it's Mercury. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, Mercury sextiling Uranus. Having those visionary insights today and communicating them. Someone might hear you and go, wow, where did that come from? Man, I've got this opportunity for you. You want to take it? So there is the ability firstly, we need to be really mindful of how we're communicating. Are we being really forceful in our communication, or are we tapping into that heart space and communicating our knowledge, but from an open throat chakra and from an open heart space? Are we coming from love today? Yay. This is what I need to see. We need to ground ourselves today. This is ground ourselves today. I'm feeling this. I'm getting some acupuncture and some cupping in an hour. So I'm gonna just go for a bit of a walk, sit under the tree for a bit to really earth myself some more. I've done some this morning, but I'm feeling really in my head today. And so the Empress is here to say, ground this energy. Ground this energy. Otherwise, you know, you could be spouting all kinds of things that could come back and bite you in the butt. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, there's a real fertile, this is Uranus and Taurus, so there's still that sensuality of Taurus around, but Uranus is that real unpredictable energy. So yeah, be mindful of that communication, like just really that alignment with head heart is really going to serve you, and ground yourself, because and find the beauty in your wounds. I guess this is coming up for me again with that you know, Venus rules, this is Venus, and Venus rules Taurus, and straight away when Venus went into Cancer, I felt that emotion, because you know, I have that Taurus energy, and not grounding yourself in that, you can get a wash with emotion. Like Cancer's very, very sensitive. They can get lost in their emotion and just be constantly communicating how they're feeling, but we need to ground that energy. Ground that energy. I know there's not a lot of earth in any aspects today, with it. Water and air are really dominating today, but grounding yourself is really going to serve you today, and just really understanding that heart space and seeing the beauty of your wounds, seeing the beauty of your wounds and how you can create amazing abundance and creative, fertile, creative energy through those wounds, through that Chiron energy, through your communication, but ground it first. And have, like, do some throat chakra healing through chanting, singing, any creative expression, or go online and find a sound frequency that really, really opens it up and balances it. Focus on blue, maybe wear a blue scarf today, or a lapis lazuli, or some turquoise crystals. Be really mindful of your communication. Use this creative Gemini intellectual energy, things that you have learnt on an intellectual level, to communicate creatively. Be careful of what's coming out your mouth today. I wrote this song called Hold Your Tongue. I'm not going to sing it, but it's yeah, really, really knowing when to speak and when to be silent, when to listen and when to communicate, you know, your new visionary ideas, your emotions, your heart. Yeah, I really feel like today, if you can, ground yourself and communicate with the written word, or through singing or recording yourself, rather than really going out and chatting with people. It can be really distracting, and you know, like I was saying before, you might feel misunderstood because your words might come out too quickly. You've got so much to say that, like me before, like it was just like, so sorry, I can really feel that my words were really scattered. Anyway, so be mindful of your communication today. Ground yourself, illuminate those wounds. It could create something really amazingly tangible for you today. I'm just going to allow Universal Love Oracle card to come out, and I think that'll be enough. These cards are huge. I'm going to go moon tree. You moon tree. I'm feeling emotional this day. I've just been doing so much healing, hence the reason why I'm getting more acupuncture today only, and cupping, releasing more. There's always more to release, more to heal. Anyway, we have Moon Tree. An old idea resurfaces. Conditions are right now right. The moon is in alignment with the heavenly star. Nurture this idea. With love and positive energy, you will achieve positive results. The mysterious image on this card shows a majestic oak tree rooted in fertile soil. Ground yourself today. Fertility? Yes. It is growing strong and tall, its branches reaching out to the sky, nourished by the light of a spiritual moon. The card also represents a marriage of some kind, the sacred, the marriage of heaven and earth, the physical and the spiritual, or a sacred union. Through something new is born. And the card of Gemini is the twins. Duality, polarity, bringing the two together. Heart, head today, and in the middle is the throat, yeah? Be deeply rooted like this moon tree. Illuminate those wounds. Be careful of how your unconscious pain is communicated. Use this communicative energy for your creative pursuits, yeah, to shine, to put yourself out there in the best possible light. Yeah, don't get stuck up here. Get too scattered with all these different ideas and things you want to do. Grounded, and you know, there could be an amazing new fertile opportunity that could bring you such abundance and richness, fertility today. Allow your inner child to be healed so you can illuminate that beautiful essence of who you truly are. Yeah. The moon rules Cancer. Yeah. And Venus is in Cancer, Mercury is in Cancer. This is heart space stuff. Deep emotions. Accept yourself, and then it doesn't matter if others are not accepting of your expressions, yeah? We've always got to come from the place of self-acceptance and self-nurturance. Be really mindful about who and what you're communicating today. Here we go. Quieting down now. I'm going to go sit quietly for a bit before I go and get some healing. I'm going to ground myself, make myself some food. I'm feeling really scattered. This energy is like, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of energy around. Yeah, get deep to the heart of your wounds, so they don't control you, so they aren't coming out unconsciously. Find that union between heart, head, and the twins. The duality, come back to oneness today. Yeah, so where was that name? Baan Pasu. Email me. You have a free energy clearing and personal reading from me. Thank you so much for everyone who's subscribed to my channel. My numbers have just gone up. I'm so grateful. I will aim to do some more love readings later today under my fig tree. Yes, so thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate anyone who sat through this whole thing and got through all the scattered communication at the beginning. Anyway, I can laugh at myself, so if I can laugh at myself, you can laugh at yourself too, because there's nothing really that serious going on. Feel into the lightness and playfulness and the flirtatious energy of Gemini. It's fun. It's fun. Access the essence of that inner child and allow them that to play. Okay, big love, deep blessings. Have an amazing new moon in Gemini. See you soon. Bye.